I'm your host, Sharada Devi, of the Born to Be Free podcast that serves as a bridge between the ancient and the new era, a confluence of opposites where all is seen as sacred and every experience is meant to catapult you into your supreme destiny.
Welcome to this new episode of Born to Be Free podcast. I am Sharada Devi, your host, and I'm so grateful and feel very blessed that I have a very special guest today with me. Her name is Tove Folkesson from Sweden, and we know each other since many, many years. I think I can say a decade, like 10 years, maybe even more. We met the first time at a festival called Space of Love in Öland, east of Sweden. Most beautiful, sweet family festival. I was teaching there. I was holding a Vedanta class and a ritual called puja. And at the end of the puja, I invited everyone to join and offer a prayer, offer a poem, offer a song, offer something from their hearts in recognition of the gift of life. And then Tove said she would like to offer, and she sang a song, and I was in tears. And the moment she shared this song, this prayer, this hymn, I remember as a hymn with many verses in Swedish. And she makes me cry every time when she sings. I invite her to sing every time, and not cry out of sadness, but cry out of beauty, because her voice touches me so deeply. Maybe she will sing for us at the end. Let's see. But she's here today with me, and we've had many beautiful encounters with each other. She invited me to come to her home in Sweden, and we held women's circles together. And it's for her, all is everything about, or her whole life has been about really finding her voice, or her authentic voice, and helping others to find and reclaim their authentic voice. How did she do that? She wrote her own books, 6 books, in the process of the 7th book. And some of these books are best-selling books in Sweden. They have gotten prizes in Sweden. And she's now writing her 7th book, and she's holding also writers' workshops and trainings, courses in the university and also in her home, where she guides and coaches aspirant writers to find their own voice and share their story. And she's also a singer-songwriter. She writes her own songs, her own prayers in Swedish, in English, and she shares them in churches, in festivals, in different occasions. Also, she was here with me in the Navaratri, the festival that we're holding every year, the 9 Nights of the Goddess. She's a mother of 2 beautiful boys that I was also blessed to be part of this creation of these boys. And she also joined the Diamond. The Diamond is my mistress mastermind mentor coaching program, a 6 months online journey where I guide people like Tove who are really dedicated to their art, to themselves, to discover who they are and their potential, and sharing these gifts that are given by the universe with the greater collective and with the good, for the good of all beings. So she's a true leader, and the Diamond is really for people that are leaders, dharmic leaders. And so I invited her to join me for this podcast, for this episode, to share about her journey and to share about what inspired her and decided for her to join the Diamond, my master mentorship program, and how that journey was for her in the Diamond, so that maybe you get also inspired to join a program like this and see how it may also can transform your life and support you in your endeavor and in your journey of stepping into your dharmic leadership. So welcome, Tove.
Thank you
for being
so
here.
here.
So nice that you're here, and we have a long time. We go many years. What is your memory? Do you remember that moment when we were sitting there in the a room and space of love, and you were
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And then I don't know if it was before or after that I also was in Bali and was singing this Dan Yoham
yes.
mantra with a guitar just sitting inside. Maybe you were living in that place. I don't remember. It was a long time ago, but then I remember you were so moved by my voice, and I treasured it a lot because I had seen you, and like I was moved by your presence, and your going into the Vedanta so deep and with a soft focus that I could see, and I was moved by it. And so I felt a little bit like honored that you loved my voice and how I sang that mantra. That was like a Vedic mantra. And I was a little bit new to the Vedic by then. And
Mm,
after that, we met many times in the Vedantic retreats also and shared
exactly.
all the beautiful things. Also, when you came to Ireland and we made a ceremony in the biggest church in the city here, like Kalmar, which is like a really big dome. And we were invited to do a concert, and I invited you and Joseph and many other musicians, and we made like a multi-religious concert somehow. We made prayers from so many different traditions, like a peace ceremony. It was so lovely. And many people come to me even now and talk about it, and like they were so
Mm. That was very special in the church. Yeah, to bring these different traditions and religions together and join in prayers. And the
Mm.
Yoham mantra, yes, it's one of my absolute favorite one. And it's true in Bali we met. I never know if Bali was first or if Sweden's Way of Love was first. It doesn't really matter. But just showing like how individuals meet in so many different occasions and we touch each other in so many different ways. And then we also have our own life, but there is a bond that is unseen and just helps us to meet life and challenges, and we are inspired by each other, dedication
Mm.
and love for
Mm.
life. And so these are like these sacred mirrors that we have, and we all have, like we all have these different people in our life that touch us in so many different ways, and
Mm.
that's priceless. Mm. Yeah. Yes, and like Tove is not only a mother and a singer-songwriter and also a writer, accomplished writer, but also a ceremonialist of the Celtic tradition. Yeah. And so I would love to hear from you, like what was the intention and what was your yes? What was your decision to join the Diamond, the Master Mistress Mind mentorship with me?
Oh, that's a big question because it's always like with the intuition, it's especially after you don't remember, but it was something that I felt so strongly that so many things are in place in a way in my life. I have been longing and working hard for many things. I've been like having passionate longings, and I've been also creating a lot of everything. Like even built a house. That was a maha transformation actually, and I'm still like both recovering and nurturing by it. But and the kids and all the creative work, but still I could feel there is something that also like always like keeps stressing me. Like I would have I really long for somewhere to find a place in myself to polish the diamond. Like really that image was talking to me. Like I want to be able to like rest really deep in this life and not always like going for the next thing, and but more like refine what I have, and also like to be able to see myself and see others like the diamonds that we are, like that we actually really already are, even if we have written books or not, or like all these things will never satisfy that place in me that feels like like I'm home. And so I think that was the spiritual longing. I would say that is. And since I know, and I had met you in the autumn, and I was like just moved by being in your warm, loving presence, and it brought up a lot of tears in me, and I felt like, yeah, I have some more journeying to do with Sharada this year, and I'm very happy that I joined.
Mm, mm. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, I'm also happy that you joined. It, for me, the 6 months was also so profound. It was the first time I run this group mentorship program, and I was so touched that so many amazing people like yourself are joining this container. And we were there as sacred mirrors and polishing this diamond. That's why it's called the diamond. I love also the metaphor of the diamond. Like it's the most precious stone. It's the most precious, can you say a stone? A gem? But really it was also stone, right? And a diamond comes when there's this high intense pressure. And then the diamond comes, and like we all go through high intense pressure, but then how can we turn that pressure into our advantage, and come out shining, basically like a diamond comes, it comes out shining through the pressure, and then turn the pressure into leisure.
Yeah, pressure into leisure, that
Yeah.
is.
Yes, and then also like the diamond reflects, like everyone gets to see themselves in the diamond. Really, it's such a, like it's transparent, and whatever color comes to the diamond, it reflects that particular color. But then it seems like it's a red diamond, it seems like it's a yellow diamond, but in reality the diamond never changes its color. It just takes on this color. And so in the same way, that is our existence as well. Like we're taking on all these different forms and roles, and we learn to play them. Like, and you're also such an incredible player, really, like on the stage. Like it's like, wow, like we're all here on the stage of life, learning to master these different roles, and at the same time remember who and what we are. Like this clear, pure being that is in reality free from all the roles, free from the colors, free from whatever is projected onto it, if it's from outside or from ourselves.
Yeah, it's a beautiful picture. I mean, remember you said about the diamond, it can be stained, it can be like even spit on, but it will not be affected. It will always be that shining, like presence. And that is a strong image, like something that can even really be hurt, like, but not hurt. It will not affect it. In the Celtic, we say we are shapeshifters, storytellers, travelers. That is that is what we are when we journey and when we do the ceremonies, and like how we work. Like we are shapeshifters, and I think that is a very beautiful thing to remember, that we cannot find like a personality that will be our final personality, because we are shapeshifting, and that is just a play, and we don't have to be so serious about changing our shape or telling our stories. And since I've been writing a lot, also telling my story is to choose one line of my life story, and then there will always be another one, or like a new aspect. And yeah, right now I'm writing about my dad. It started with my dad and his my granddad, and because I have two sons now, so I started to think a lot about like what my masculine heritage is bringing to, and also to this world where we have a lot of violence, and how they are more like, yeah, how it's so vulnerable to have a small boy who are more interested in all these things that I didn't care about as a girl. He's interested in all the weapons and like being so much more physical, and that is so strange, but that is a new role. I'm playing a role of a mother of 2 sons. have to dig into that and see how life is for them.
Yeah, yeah. Probably, not probably. Like role as a mother, becoming a caretaker is the initiation of life. Mm. I admire you and all the mothers and fathers that are, yeah.
Yeah, I recognize it also from creating, like somehow you also say that like we are all mothers of the we are creators, and so, and to be a mother is very special because you can never pause from it. But I think also that being a creative person, I have been birthing a lot and like caring a lot and transforming a lot too. And I think many people are longing for that, even if you start that journey before you could become a mother or after you become a mother, or if you don't become a mother, like people have so much to express and give birth to inside of them. And I think all of us have that, and that's why it's so interesting to work with the ones who feel that longing, who are ready to do the work, because that's also a very big journey to embark.
How was it for you, like being a mother and being a teacher, being a ceremonialist, and doing the Diamond, joining the program time-wise and content-wise to integrate what we did in the Diamonds?
It was so interesting because it was so subtle, I think. I don't know if it was like that for everybody, but it was like having a subtle support that was so profound. Like it was so beautiful to be in a group with them. I think we were 11 people or so, 10, where everybody was so experienced and everybody had so much experience and so much willingness, I would say, to meet each other as they are, and not control others and not control the situation, and like just relying and traveling together. And a lot of things happened, but there was such a big special support to have a group with so many leaders, so like coaches, leaders, yeah, travelers, shapeshifters, storytellers. Like it was something, and that you were holding it with this like intention that we would, yeah, that we would really rest in the presence of yeah, that we are held and nurtured. And when you do it together as a group, and you can see in the others how they benefit, it's like you get so many beautiful mirrors, and you start to see yourself in a new way. Actually, I think that was it, so that is subtle because it's hard to explain it, but it's so deep. And yeah, it has really changed something in me, and my intention was to make my life easier, to make my life more focused and concentrated, and more like the diamond, like it's more compact and not so much here and there. And I ended up working a lot with what do I want to do with my voice, like my singing voice, and also writing voice, but more my singing voice, and how to express it, because I felt it was a little bit hard to find a place in the like music industry or something. Maybe there will be some way for me, but it's more like also that I could see, and I'm already doing a lot of what I want to do. I already do it. I start to frame it more. I start to frame it as this is what I do. Like my ceremony, my sadhana that I invented for myself was going down to my beach, where it's like it's my home. It's a white sandy beach here on the shore, and that's the place where I want to die. And that's also something that came up in the diamond journey. So I go down and sit in this actual place where if I can choose, I want to die on that spot. And I sit there, make a sacred Celtic ceremonial fire, and I just sit with the fire until the fire has burnt out, and I do it every Sunday morning early before family wakes up. And it's so simple, like it's in a way, and when you do it, it opens up a new perspective, and like this is, I'm already, and I got a lot of songs, and I got so much clarity around what to say no to, what to say yes to, and that clarity is everything, I think.
Yeah, like we had the question, where do we want to die? And then you started to do this ceremony there. And have you gone there now every Sunday?
Yeah, not when we have been traveling, and
Yeah.
so this summer is more irregular, but I have that intention still. I'm going to go. I've decided to go up till October, from March to October. So yeah, I will continue.
Yeah. So it requires, like, there's the guidance there, but it is also like in the diamond, there's this self-leadership also that is required there. Invited. It's different from like a container where there's a clear structure and then you learn this and then you learn that. I have containers like that, but here it's different. It's like you said, we're people that already have quite a background in an area, their talents and emotional management, emotional mastery in some sorts of way, and then just being together, reminded of what we're doing here, why we're doing here, and the refinement.
Mm.
Yeah, and I'm so glad to hear that your journey, actually, to hear it from you directly, that you received that clarity, and the songs that have come through that you also shared with us. And this.
I think we got like the perfect questions,
Mm,
and we were ready for those questions.
mm,
And we also had these small pods where we could talk with one sister or brother, um, every week. So we had so much like mirroring, and yeah, it was a lot about clarity for me, like clearing the mirror, and and seeing all the beauty in the others too, which was, yeah, very, very nurturing.
yeah, like to have mirrors and other people that are on this journey. It's
Mm.
so crucial. Like I know for myself, I was in a mentorship myself at that time.
Mm.
And and to have these sacred mirrors that we're reminded we're not alone polishing the diamond, because sometimes it can feel really lonely in a world where we are in a world that is competitive and fear-based, and on the idea that we are separate from each other and different from each other, and that if I have something you will not have, like that's also something so strong for so many people. We cannot all be, the belief that we cannot all be successful, or we cannot all be wealthy, or uh, like if I have, then you don't have. Like I feel that's a very strong belief, and to see that that's really not true. Like
Mm.
so much, most of what we live in this world is based on a wrong notion, a wrong perception, and has created this deep dichotomy and separation, and where we are
Mm.
afraid of each other, and like that recognition that we have made wrong conclusions, and in reality we are one being, and we're all here to, we can support each other. When I shine, you shine. When you shine, I shine, and
Mm.
we all get to shine. um,
Mm. Yeah, the grace to be in a container where like many people really live that, and act that, like if there, that everybody takes responsibility for their journey and for their emotions, and also for being like shining back at each other, and being so generous, and not going into all the traps, because we have so many traps where we can fall down. And it's so nice to like be mirrored that, yeah, but you're not stuck there. Like you can come up, and we like no codependence, but more like just seeing the reality that, but yeah, that happened to you, but it's okay. And that helped so much to have a group of experienced people that could like really take out the best in you, and that we're not afraid of the best in you, because that is what
Is
happens.
that a
Like,
big one? I mean, like,
yeah, it's
the
a big
biggest
one.
fear. For me, I started my like big mentorship program and my one-on-one with one of my mentors. I started with the first session was about, I'm so afraid that if I really shine, that people will be jealous. And I
Yes.
was just like crying and crying and crying, just this fear that if I take up, I would take up other people's space, which I knew wasn't true, but it was stored in my body. And the fear of other people being jealous at me, bringing up the little girl that is so afraid that she's doing wrong and all she wants is to share love, but then people around her get hurt. And then
Mm.
it's so funny, the last session I had, because it was a 6 months coaching and mentorship program, a group and one-on-one. And my last session, I ended with like, I had 4 people around me projecting things on me from 4 different directions, stories. And then it was so funny. My mentor, she's like, wasn't that your whole story? Like, that's how we started. I'm like, really? Yeah, your first session was about like, if you really shine, other people will get jealous. And I'm like, oh my God.
Mm.
It ended like, okay, there was jealousy going on. And and that's, I know for so many people, we're holding back out of fear that then other people will get jealous and then we would be the cause of pain instead of being the cause of love and joy and happiness.
Mm.
Like I feel like what I saw in our mentorship also, like there's so many incredible people that were there, like you as the writer, and then another best-selling author, and then another one that is an amazing filmmaker who won lots of prizes, and then another filmmaker and an intimacy coach, and everyone really there to really shine and celebrate their wins. But then it's also sometimes we went through really, really deep stuff and a lot of shame came up. And then that was also okay, right? So that everything can coexist. One can be celebrated and the other can also be celebrated because they are going through a big pain right now. And I feel that's also something often, if I'm in pain, then the other cannot show that they are
Happy.
joy and happy.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, that's a really big one. Like to have that group that almost the I also, because you are the leader of this group, we have like a common sense that we will let each other shine. How bright they shine, like we're gonna just celebrate it. And that is, I think we're very unused to that, and we're very used to that there's a certain level you can shine up to this level, but when you start to shine like a little bit too much, the group gets scared that you will leave the group. Like there's this fear. And so when you like open the roof in a way to say you can shine, as bright as the stars or whatever, but you will still be part of this necklace for this time. It allows us even to challenge each other, how much we can can be and still be part. I have had a lot of that fear of like, if I shine or if I speak the truth or if I'm being authentic, people will feel very weird or like awkward, and either try to make me come back or leave me. And that is, of course, a deep fear. Most people, we will not be welcome anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, and it's both there. And then have you also experienced, like in my case also, I've experienced the jealousy, but I've also experienced way more celebration and support from like my community, from my sacred sisters and brothers, just like, wow, thank you so much for shining, because when you shine, now you have given me the permission to also shine. So I really, like, I've heard so much feedback, like just to like tell the ones that are like watching and listening, like, oh my God, if I shine and everyone will get jealous. Like, no, but some will, and it's okay. But I
It's
will,
okay, just a
oh,
few. Like it's
yeah,
only the few that will not be responsible for their own journey and like project. But that's why I also love to work as a leader. Like I really love to see how other like to find ways to make creative processes and people like shine and allow themselves to shine, but also allow themselves to enjoy and have fun. And so that is what we did in the Diamond too. I think we reminded each other of the values that is, yeah. So we don't go into like just a group, because there's so many of those. Like we can go into a group where you learn to be effective, or you learn to like finish your projects, but it was not about that. It was more about like to be all this and also have leisure. And leisure is very precious. And for me it has, yeah, I'm very inner, like I have a lot of things going on all the time, and I also love to just enjoy and, yeah, be with my family and friends and just be in nature, and sometimes those like collidate, but it was beautiful to see that it's more effective to do what you actually are here to do, like what you actually want to do. It's much better than do 10 different things. And so that is what I bring a lot, and that makes me more clear about saying no to that and yes to that, even though it feels scary to say yes to this. It's always worth it. And we worked a lot about money also, didn't we? Like we worked a lot about like because fear and money can be very tight connected in us, and it was in me, and might be still a bit, but I think I don't know how it works. It just, for some reason, I just got a lot of scholarships this spring. Like unexpected gifts from, I don't know. It's beautiful how this, yeah, how this, you can never explain it, but it works.
Yeah, we worked a lot with money and also with sexuality, and we did some bold things. How was that to do this like more for you?
Because I didn't have so much experience, so I was like, it was so fun because everyone was just into it, and we didn't meet in person, so we were on our online in our own homes, but still like sharing sexual ceremonies, and that was very interesting. And I was more like, I can be like that when I go into a group. It's like, yeah, this is what you do in this group, and as long as it feels good for me, I can join. So it was amazing that it was just happened, a lot of interesting things that was also very powerful, like very, very deep. And I wanna explore that more, I think. And I know that you have been exploring it a lot, and it felt like I also been in the Lakshmi training with you, where we did a little bit of those things. It felt very safe. It didn't feel like I can be very like I will be insecure, or like just not feel so interested if it's more like about, oh wow, we did this, oh it was so cool. When it becomes too much of like excitement seeking, that can happen in different groups. Like it can happen with sex, or with medicine, or with different things. It can become a little bit like it's more about them. Yeah, it becomes like a distraction somehow. But it didn't turn out like that. It was so safe and so just much leisure in it, because I think you're so experienced. So it wasn't like, didn't feel awkward at all, actually. Felt very beautiful and natural. And still it was very new for me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing. And is there anything else that you feel that's something that you would like for people to know? Like if someone is thinking about joining, what would you tell them?
Yeah, I really I really think you should join if you can, if you are ready to step back a little bit and look at your life and be ready to find out that it wasn't maybe really like you thought it was. Like I think it's a way of taking a little bit of a distance to look at your life with. So if you're ready to like really be challenged in your idea of your own life, what is your direction, what is your values, then it's a very, very good idea to join. And it's very safe. It's very, yeah, it's very nice. You don't have to be thinking a lot about it. It's more to just jump into the water because it's warm. But have to be ready for a journey to see things that you didn't maybe see before, because the mirrors will be super clear. The others also in the group and Sharana will make you more visible to yourself.
Thank you. Yeah. And what are you now? What are your, as the diamond has ended, and what are your next plans, and how can people also join you if they would like to liberate their voice? What are
Yeah,
your
they can join me on. We're gonna have a retreat in September. Me and Julia Snöljus, who is a friend of you too. We will have it here in my home, and I also have a Writer's Utopia, which is like a program where if you are in that, like you want to write your book, you want to finish it, you want to like really work with it, and so then you can come for a year, and we will have meetings here and online, and I will not let you be stuck. I will let you like help you to be in your flow, because I think in the creative process the most important is that your motor, like if your creative motor is working, then the project will unfold itself. So it's more like working with the engine and working with your the hinders and the energy and the community that will help you give you the mirror that you need and all this. So then you can contact me on Instagram, for instance, and Tove.Folke there. And yeah, there can be many opportunities. I think after Diamond, I was a lot about singing and ceremonial singing. So I'm going more deep into leading. I'm training to lead sweat lodges, and I'm doing it a little bit already. And also to work with music in the ceremonies. And I also got a very clear vision of making to record some, like a collection of very precious songs, and to do it in my own way, and not at all for fitting into any special genre or so, or make it like I already do it, like the magic, like when I just sat with you in the puja and sang. I want to make it this simple and naked and yeah, also sacred.
I love it. I see myself there with you, and
Yeah,
songs and prayers. I think we'll have.
I see that too. So I think the simplicity was my intention, to come and
Yeah.
find more simplicity, and I really found it with relationships and work and goals also.
And if people join you for the writing of their books, is that in English or in Swedish?
It's depending on the group. Mostly I've been working with Swedish people since we meet here in Sweden also, but we're working on an online program, so it will be possible for English also.
Also, yes. Yeah. And people write their books. Is it like is it biography, or also, like they can also be like what do you call
Non-fiction.
those books? Pardon?
Non-fiction, when it's
Non-fiction, but also like training books. Like if someone is a yoga teacher and they want to write about the system, is it all kinds of different?
mostly I've been working with like what is it called? Yeah, we call it like fiction and poetic literature and so. But I think it works because, as I said, it's more about like keeping up with your vision and seeing it and having it seen by others, and not leaving it, like abandoning it, because I think that is the wound of the creative projects, that we so many times they being abandoned and we feel bad about it, we feel guilt, and becomes like a bad circle. So it's a lot about like breaking those chains of both guilt and fear, like fear of shining, fear of telling your truth, fear of actually doing something that is manifested, that will be that people might think different things about, and that's scary. So it's a lot about just breaking the resistance and the hindrances. So I think you can come in actually in any other creative project as well, if you want to work like deep with one thing for a full circle, like a full year circle. We follow the seasons and all the qualities of the seasons, and when it's time to really be intense, and when is it more time to be a little bit like resting mode and listening more for new ideas and visions. So we follow the year cycle, and everybody's welcome to just contact me and we can see if there's a match.
Beautiful. I want to join you. I want to write my book.
Yay! Do you have a title?
Pardon?
Do you have a title for it?
Some titles have come up. I've been
Yeah.
kind of writing them down, and yeah, I don't know if now already is the time.
No,
A lot
no,
going.
I know. I think it's so interesting, because if you have those thoughts, many
Yeah.
times you have a title, and if you have a title, you have like the first step. You have something
Right.
to start with,
Yeah.
and then it becomes like a whole universe, and that you can open up.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the titles, I mean, I have a few titles that have come up. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to tell them, but
No, you keep your secrets. It's very, very important too. Somebody said telling a story is to tell a story is to keep a secret. That is
tell
interesting.
stories to keep a secret.
Yeah, I heard it yesterday. I was like, that's interesting. But there is something in it, because you will always have your secrets.
Right.
You will keep the most precious secrets, because they will like fuel the whole story.
Yeah.
And we always think that we like have to like, but yeah, I don't know, it was a very new thought, but it's interesting, I think. And I work a lot with secrets, because it evokes a lot in people when they hear the word. What is your, if I ask you what is your secrets, they will be like a lot of energy will rise inside of them, and that energy we can use, because everybody have things that they cannot express, and that is like where everything is driven from. And we won't have that energy in the actual language. It has to be a nerve and like a mystical connection with what we really are when we write. So I work a lot about like to drop the discipline but find the inspiration. So then it's very fun to write. You don't have to like think that it's a pain in the classical way. It can be painful though.
Painful pleasure, pleasurable
It can be.
ecstasy of life.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Oh, exciting. I look forward to be together and sing and pray. And yeah, we're going to do some things again. It's coming. So, yeah, I feel anything else that you want to share with our friends and community before we
Maybe I want to share the song that I think that you were thinking about when we met. Was it because you said it was many verses? Then I think it's a song that is called "To My Sister." It's in Swedish though. It's very beautiful. It's about singing to my sisters about the secrets. Nobody knows how the bitter wine of our childhood was, but now we're here in this blooming fields and the like the skies in all colors, and it's a very beautiful text about having a sister and recognizing the past and being with each other. And
I would
playing.
love that. We would love that here, Tove.
Yeah.
For the sister, that to all the sisters. Yeah.
For all the sisters and brothers
And siblings, like it's to our
and
family.
siblings. That's true. It's Dan Andersson, so it's an old Swedish poet who wrote it, also the melody. Nu spelar vårens ljumma vind i myrens gula stall, och sakta stiga sagorna kring ön i Bergafors. Förlåt ett stänk av bitterfröjd, en visa till gitarr. Det starka oss till läkedom, likt strandens unga post. En sång till dig, min syster, när all marken väntar vår. Låsas ljunghed surrar yr av vind och vilda bin. Där lärde vi oss tunga steg i våra yngsta år. Och ingen vet hur djupt vi drack vårt barndoms beska vin. Men härlig, härlig våren kom vart år i rosor klädd. Fast sorgens skymning sökte oss och blekte kindens färg. En dag på knä för konungen, en natt för skuggan rädd. Och sedan drack du salighet ur flod och fjäll och berg. Kom ut när stormen vider vild i apelpil och hägg. Låsas himlar brinna till Guds och stjärnors lov. Men när du söks till drömmar av det sedan vid din väg. All ängens rosor ropar, kom ut till oss och sov.
Sacred tears. Oh.
All the roses of the meadow calls, come out to us and sleep. And thank you for inviting me and receiving.
Thank you, Devi. Thank you. Devi means goddess, God, she who shines, he who shines, those who shine. That is the inner meaning of Devi, Deva, Devata. Yes, please record these prayers for the hearts to heal, to come back home to themselves. Like that's the power of music and song. It just directly pierces through the thickest walls into this most tender hearts that we all have. It's the gift of song and prayers, the voice. Yeah, you have a very special one, special vibhuti, like we call it. Vibhuti means a glory given by the universe, and it's here to be used. That's what the Veda says. Here to use our glories.
But I was really like the most silent kid when I grew up. So I think it's also like going through that wall, like taking yourself through. There is like all this wall. I was so shy that I was even bullied for being the silent one. Like when I was not maybe not bullied, but there was some like people's bigger brother who called me the silent one, and it was so painful that I couldn't find my voice. So that has been my journey, and I love to share it with others, and I love to hear other people's voices, help them come through.
Yeah. And especially like bringing in the sacredness and the prayer, because I think that's where, like Buddha Swamiji would say, like there are many great musicians, but there's not many that are, I don't remember the exact words right now. He said it in such a beautiful way, but like as long as they haven't spiritualized their song, their music, then it's more a chain. It's more a chain. It's something that holds one back rather than liberates one. And when we spiritualize the art, the music, the song, then it's an offering to the universe, and then it liberates. But otherwise, like we see that often with great artists and great musicians or actors, they're like genius. The art is so exquisite, and the more pain there is, the more exquisite the art. But when there's no spiritual background, then that becomes the chain. And and we see that often, like with the great artist musician, there's so much drugs and sex and involved, and then they get lost, they drown in their own pain basically. And so then when we spiritualize the pain and it comes out in this music, in these songs, in the painting, in the book, then it liberates us. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. And I can feel what you mean, and I think it's very different things. If you do art for those with those different intentions, it's very different for how you feel about it and what you appreciate and so.
Yeah, like the art, like we have art, but like in Veda, there's not really like art. It's all the offering. It's like the puja, like we do the puja and then we offer this vibhuti, we transform the pain into sacred beauty and it's offered back.
I think that is like why I love to sing in a puja or in a ceremony, because then it's like it should be for me. It should be an offering. It shouldn't be me standing on a stage and the audience would be like, is she good or not? Because I never felt comfortable with that. It's because it's so intimate to use the voice, and I want to do it just like a hug. I don't want to hug somebody who's going to say, was it a good hug or not? Or even being more intimate. So I think that's very true. If we have that sacred circle around the art, it becomes much more joyful and leisure, and that we can have a we can decide it in a circle that this is an offering. We don't judge each other or ourselves even for what comes out. That is a big one too, that you don't have to connect your ego to everything that comes out of you. It's also mysterious, and you can be curious about your own mystery instead of thinking a lot of judging things about it. And that is social trauma. I think that we've made art into some sort of performance or ego thing that should represent who we are, or that we should be good at playing the violin or whatever. It's like an abuse actually on all the kids and all the grown-ups too, when we use it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, and it's done to get approved and to prove that we are worthy of love, that we are worthy of recognition. And it's a disease. Because if I need to prove through my art that I'm worthy of love, I'm doomed to fail.
Yeah, that is also like you abuse your gift, like you not you, it's not like you shouldn't feel guilt about it, but it's also that the society wants you to abuse your gift, like use it for some applause or some money or whatever, and then you feel inside that it's no, this is not right. This is just free, and it's love, and it should be expressed without those hard judges. Like we have this talent or idol or different things where you have a judge that are very, very critical, and those moves into us very easily. Happens to most of the people that
Yeah.
they don't sing in front of people. Why? Why not? In
And I
some
don't know,
cultures, everybody
nothing
sing.
wrong with wanting money. It's nothing wrong with wanting the applause. Like, it's
No,
sweet.
no, no, no.
I
Not
want
that.
it to be our children, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We love it. We love it.
We love it, right?
It
But
shouldn't be like you can just do it if you get the approval. Like if we should, I think it's more like singing is a thing that you do for to connect with some very, very deep part of you, and that is always very precious. And the people do it in different ways, and it's always very precious. And so when we start to like have a culture where only certain people can sing because it's beautiful in some way, then yeah, that becomes very toxic because it's a gift for everybody. Mm.
yeah, I'm glad that we brought this piece in. I know so many incredible. I mean, we all can sing. Like we actually can all chant, definitely chant.
Definitely.
And then I think sing also everything can be like the voice once there's a support system and safety, then the voice gets naturally liberated, our authentic expression. And I know we all can actually sing. We all have our song. Like,
And many people long to sing more than they do, and we feel very, very good. It's very good medicine to sing and to do it together, and also to be heard. I think that is something like to just sit in front of people and sing. That is something that we will do in our retreat, for instance. The healing and the medicine, just sitting there and letting everybody hear your voice. It's when you get used to it, like when you start to like it, it's so beautiful to be seen in that raw sense that your voice can show. But it's up frightening also for most, I would say. So that's why it's so interesting and fun to do it, because it's better than bungee jump.
so much better.
More
You
scary.
don't have to risk your life. You can just sit.
And more simple.
Yes. Dhanyoham, dhanyoham. Deep gratitude, deep gratitude. And yeah, thank you, Tove. Thank you, everyone who has stayed with us for this time, precious time, who have listened to this podcast, who has watched this podcast. If you like this podcast, please like it. Please subscribe to the podcast. That helps us to spread this knowledge and wisdom and let more people know about that we can live our life in this prayerful and meaningful and supportive ways, and that we can all shine. And if you even want to leave a comment, that would be amazing. I'd love to hear how this landed for you. What were your takeaways? What touched you? If you have any questions, reach out to Tove in regard to writing and singing and motherhood. If you have questions to me regarding life and the diamond and any programs or things that have come up, we are here. And thank you so much again. Wishing you that you can liberate your heart and shine for all to also shine. And we can live in a world that we want to live in. And it's up to us to create that world. We have the power. You have the power. We all have the power. We're all equally powerful. And we are here to remind each other that the power is within us and as us. So thank you so much. Born to be free. You are, we are. Until next time.
From my heart to yours, deepest gratitude for your presence. May you follow your wildest dreams, live your highest purpose, and expand into the infinite.